Good Friday! I should know by now that interviews always happen on Friday, and I still forget what day it is.
Good Friday, you guys, and happy
Friday. Today, as you know, is Friday, so we have a guest interview, which also means Mercedes, the microphone, is doing the introduction. Really, this part is just for me, you guys. To introduce to you the one and the only. Just a second. One of the things we always say is that when it comes to weight loss, it's not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. Ever wonder, what are the skills and knowledge necessary to go from being a size 12 to a size 2? Ever wonder whether it will be possible to control your food appetite or your sugar cravings? When Brittany started working with us 1 year ago, she wondered those same exact things, and today she is living it. No matter where you are at in your journey, today's story will be very inspiring. We'll be talking about weight loss, sugar addiction, the food industry, and all things in between with our dear friend and client, Brittany White. Brittany! Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Look at that shirt.
Hey, you know I had to rep today.
That's right. It's Flex Friday, so show us those guns.
Oh, yeah. Stop. You're going to break the camera. You're going to break all the computers and the internet.
So some of you guys may know Brittany White and some of you guys may not. If you don't, after today, you will definitely want to, probably learn about her a little bit more. But, Brittany, we've really had the honor and pleasure working with you. Like I told you everything that I told you with, 100% honesty and transparency, because that's just how we roll. But yeah, today we're going to be showcasing your story and, what it actually is like and how did you get from point A to point Z and all of the pebbles and potholes that were in between.
Boulders.
Boulders, that's right. So, first thing first, let's go back to when the first time that you're like, I'm not happy with my body. When was that in your life?
That probably started in high school, unfortunately, It's been a roller coaster, like most of your clients, most of my adulthood.
Yeah. When you say most of your adulthood, would you mind sharing with us what is your current age?
Current age is 34.
Okay, amazing. So, how did you come to the community anyways?
One of my just bored and, wallowing in self-pity, scrolling on Facebook times and saw you two and I thought, yeah, that must be nice to look like that. Jeez, that's not real life. Who are these girls? And so, stalked for a little while. And then came across your Rise Above and your Badass Nutrition and started that October 15th of 2020 and got through that and got Burn Zone 1. And that's when I jumped into Inner Circle on October 31st, 2020. And that's kind of where it all started.
Halloween! It amazes me how all of you guys remember every exact date.
Well, when it changes your life, it's like you can't forget it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the first Halloween I haven't pigged out on candy in my forever or my whole life. So of course I'm going to remember that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's talk about a couple of things between high school and Halloween of last year. What have you done in between? What have you tried in order to solve that problem?
Sure.
So daunting. Yeah.
I know, kind of similar story to Erin, played sports through high school and then I played basketball through college as well. And so, didn't really have to watch what I ate a whole lot until I'd stopped, playing sports. And then it really started catching up with me. So I hired several personal trainers. Working out was never really an issue, but the structure is what I needed, because I know exercises to do, right? I've been working out my whole life playing sports, but to go to a gym and put exercises together to make an efficient workout, it just overwhelms me. So the trainer was helpful in that aspect, but I could never find one to help with my nutrition. And that's where I struggled. And you guys said it right when I started last year, that you can't out train a bad diet. And when I heard that, it was just the biggest mind blowing thing, because I was like, that's what I've been trying to do my entire life, is out train a bad diet. And so, I've tried paleo, going vegan, Mediterranean, flexitarian, just Weight Watchers. I tried just doing a diabetic diet because, at least they control their carbs, even though they don't control what carbs they eat. None of it was sustainable at all.
Now you know all these things.
Yeah, now I know.
What's the flexitarian diet? When you eat a flex?
Yeah, right. No, it's you try to eat mainly vegetables, but you only do a little bit of meat. That type of thing. It was a rough time.
I would love to know, anybody watching this, comment. Are you, for one, anybody relate to the athlete gone rogue? We'll call it. And you're like, I could eat whatever I want. And I said the same thing. It's like, I could eat whatever I want until I can't.
Right.
So what would you say, like, percentage-wise, just from your own life and your own experience? Yes, I have 2 dogs on my lap, and this is how it's going to go today. What would you say percentage-wise for you in your own life, fitness dictating your results versus nutrition dictating your results versus mindset? So if you were to break it up into a percentage of 3, that's a good question. What would you break that up into?
I would follow exactly almost what Sarit's diagram of what society thinks, of 90% working out, 9% nutrition and 1% mindset would be how I was trying to go about it.
And where would it be now, though?
Oh, now is, nutrition and mindset way over working out. The consistency of working out is important, but the other things are important, just as important, if not more important.
Gosh, this is
what's the likelihood that you would have reached your goals? Let's say if you had not switched into the understanding of how much percentage of like mind work, and we say mindset such a broad term, and like who knows what that even means these days, but when I say that, I mean your thought processes, the way you talk to yourself, your perspective on certain things, be it food or exercise, your environment and stuff like that, being mindset. What do you think have happened had you not basically switched entirely that 90 to 10% from one to the other?
Well, I can tell you exactly what would happen, because I did that. So a few years ago, I trained for a half marathon, and during that time, I lost probably about 20 pounds and got to the weight I am now. I didn't look the same because it was different training, right? But I wasn't quite as lean as I am now, but I was the same weight on the scale. And as soon as that half marathon was done, gained even more weight. So without that mindset change, there's just zero sustainability. You're going to continue to yo-yo your whole life.
This is so good. This is so good. So come October 31st last year, you joined this program called the Inner Circle. Talk to us about how different was that versus everything else that you've done before for the past, what, like 15 years leading up to that?
I mean, how it was just 100% different. And number one is that it teaches you sustainability. I mean, that's the one thing I was missing was the knowledge. And like, I'm very task oriented. So if you tell me what to do, I'm going to do it. But if a lot of that is I need to understand why I'm doing it. And, you know, I prior to you guys, a few years prior, I had a trainer that was helping me working out. And I went with her because she said she could help me with nutrition. And, you know, I'd ask her like, you know, hey, I'm not seeing a lot of results on the scale. Like I need some help. Okay, eat more protein. Eat more protein. Well, okay, I'll eat more turkey bacon. Like, I don't know what that means, you know? I mean, eat more, you know, tacos. So, or, you know, beef taco. Great, I'll add more beef, which means I add more tacos. Like, I don't know, you know? And so
I got to add milk to my cereal because I don't have enough milk.
right, yeah.
Milk,
okay, I'll have 2 bowls of cereal because I need double milk protein. Like, so, you know, it was just constantly getting that knowledge and education, especially those Monday night calls. I mean, I just have a notebook full of, you know, golden nuggets and, you know, teaching the mindset aspect to where you learn to love and appreciate yourself. You know, when we first started, we set affirmations as one of my targets, and you were very honest, which I appreciated. You said it's gonna feel fake and inauthentic when you first start. And you were right. And I think I told you that, like, I'm doing this, but I feel like a liar. And you just said, keep going. And slowly every day within that first couple months, like I started believing what I was telling myself. By month 2 or 3, I could finally look myself in the eyes in the mirror. I hadn't looked at myself in the mirror in years. I mean, I would look to make sure I had nothing in my teeth and my shirt was clean. But to really look at myself, I hated myself. I couldn't do it. And so to be able to look at myself in the eye and go, you're a lean, badass mother, and, you know, we're going to kill this day, and all my other affirmations. I mean, it's just that only the inner circle would have done that for me.
I had a really good question and it went away.
Okay, you can write that.
Oh, do you have your notebook? You said the Monday meetings, like the group coaching calls. Can you read to us some of your favorite golden nuggets from that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Number one,
get ready to write. Get ready to write. And if you hear something profound that really like turns on a light bulb for you, put it in the comments too. Put it in the comments.
Number one, can't out-train a bad diet. That was the one that just changed my life for sure. Fail to plan to fail. That was a stumble. You talked about pebbles and stumbling blocks. That was one that, you know, I really had to learn and makes such a difference, especially when it comes to meal planning and being prepared, you know, things like that. Progress, not perfection. I'm a perfectionist with the all or nothing mindset. I was, not anymore. I'm all in, and it's progress, not perfection. And, you know, you're going to mess up. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're a failure. That means you learn from it and you move on. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. When I heard that, you know, you guys say, oh yeah, we do this. Must be nice. Guess they got all that time. That's all they do. They're trainers. That's all they do is work. No, it's just how you prioritize, and, you know, you can make it happen if you want to make it happen. And with that, flipping the script, and, you know, when I would do those affirmations and that little voice in your head would go, you're such a liar. You know, you go, no, I'm not. I really believe this is what I am. And changing that mindset for sure. And then auditing your environment. I mean, that was probably top 3 for sure. Your mental, social, and physical environments. Just that was a big one.
Yeah. You know what? Affirmations are one of these things that, you know, some people, you're like in 3 categories. You're either indifferent. You think that is way too up in the clouds for me, and like you hippies need to come back down to earth. And then there's people who are like, yes, energy, vibration, and like, here's the deal. Words vibrate, literally, right? So logically, as I'm speaking, my voice projected has a vibration. And there are laws in the universe, and that vibration and that frequency in which you speak is the most powerful form of manifestation. What you say will become the truth as long as you continue to say it to the point where you legitimately believe that it is the truth. Even if not currently your situation, it will become your situation. And that's why what you think is so important, because what you think is what you say. And as it actually comes out, it is a vibration that's being created, and you are literally creating the life that you have by what you say. And so even though it might seem weird in the beginning, the reason Sarit says keep going is because as you continue to say it, you are putting the vibration out, and you are putting your frequency like a radio station on the right channel, so you can clearly hear what it is you're trying to hear. So you can clearly create what it is you're trying to create for your life. So for people who are like, you guys, you hippies need to come down from the cloud, just try it. I dare you to try it for 90 days.
Yep.
And see how your life changes.
Yep.
100%. Okay, so we are like having this conversation just exactly about a year since, like you very first started. So before our first meeting, what would the Brittany of 1 year ago had hoped to achieve after trying all of these things?
Oh, I mean, when I first started, I think my hope was that this wasn't a scam, and that I, would at least maybe lose some weight. Like, that's what I was hoping. Like, I had immediate panic after I got off the phone with you guys and was like, what did I just do? I don't know. Like, I'm never going to see these girls again. They're,
they just took my money and they're going to run away. This is weird. This is so real. Sorry, this is so real. Go.
Yeah. And so, when it didn't, and I got the confirmation emails and then my success call and all that, I was like, okay, like maybe this will work. And, that was just kind of my hope, was that I would lose some weight and hopefully get out of the dark place that I was in mentally and emotionally.
And okay, was it a scam?
No, it wasn't at all.
Brittany, how often did we talk?
Every day. I checked in with you every day.
Every single day. And I want to give you props because, and I'm going to ask you a question in just a little bit, but your level of coachability going through the program has been a 10 out of 10. Like for myself or the coaches in the inner circle, if we don't get a regular check-in from someone, we're gonna start chasing. With you, I've never even had to do that one single time. And that's why it's so fun working with you, because you can feel on the other side as a coach that, hey, I'm running for her success, but can she keep up? And you've kept up each and every single day, and you've absolutely like crushed it. So, okay, cool. Not a scam. Happy to hear that. So what you have hoped to, receive was that you will not be deceived, and maybe you'll lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Fast forward 1 year later, what did you actually achieve?
Well, I did achieve the weight loss, number one. And right when I started, I don't want to give credit to the wrong one, but one of you made the comment, I don't know if it was on an espresso or a coaching call, that you had no more weight to lose. And I thought, what does that mean? that's real. Like, how do you get to that? Like, that'd be nice. I want to live like that. And, I never thought my wildest dreams that would be possible. And, fast forward to about a month ago, and I hit that point. I have no more weight to lose. And I mean, just the feeling of like proud and accomplishment is like, man, like I did it. I didn't think I could, and I did it. So that was the weight loss part of it.
How much weight?
35 pounds.
Okay.
Where were you numbers wise? Let's talk numbers just so that you guys can frame this a little bit.
When I weighed in right before I did Rise Above, I was 169. But I really think at my heaviest, probably in the, few months before that, I was somewhere between 170, 175. And then, so I kind of call it 170. And then, now I'm 135. And then lost 17 inches just about. But the other part of it that I achieved is the food freedom. And that's something that I've been striving for my whole life. And to be able to go into a restaurant and be confident that I know the better than choice to pick, and to be able to walk out with my head high going, man, I did pretty good right there. That was a good job. Or to walk into a room and there be cake and cookies and all that, and I'll go, no, that's not my alignment with my goals. I don't need that right now, And I mean those two things are just astronomical in my life at this point.
So let's talk a little bit about education and the food industry and what's happening on a higher level. I remember one of the first conversations that, we've had, you mentioned to me, you're like, for my entire life, I thought that a potato was a vegetable.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit, like where in the United States are you located? And, what does from a food abundance standpoint, what kind of food is, more often than not regularly around you?
Sure. So I am located in Oklahoma, which is one of the top obese states in the United States. There are fast food galore. You want to try to find a salad place? Good luck. Fresh vegetables at the grocery store, hit and miss. I mean, most of them are molded. The organic kind are molded, or you better get it home and eat it because it's not gonna last long. So it's that part makes it tough. But then just going back to the lack of knowledge, when I thought I was trying to do good, I would have pork chops, peas, and a baked potato and think, man, I killed that. Got my protein and veg in, right? Like, I had no idea that.
Got that protein!
Yeah. Peas were more carb, or, like I didn't know. And
I mean, it's not as nutrient dense as like green vegetables and things like that, but it grows in the ground.
It's
a starchy
starch, right?
It's a starchy root,
right?
It's a root vegetable.
It's a starchy root. We do not consider it a vegetable on the food quality guideline.
Yes.
You're now confusing a lot of people.
Yeah. So to be able to learn, little things like that, and having that food quality guideline of red, yellow, green. I mean, for the first 3 months, I didn't deviate from the Nom Nom recipe book. That's what I stuck with because, if you guys were eating it, then it had to be decent. And, now just about any recipe, you can make it green. And it's just having that knowledge and confidence is awesome.
So, I love that. So let's talk a little bit about, food availability. You said, like there's junk food everywhere. Like what is a typical person in your neighborhood you would think like eat on a day-to-day basis? Like, what does a day in their life look like, considering the availability of what's around?
Sure. I mean, I guarantee you, and at least speaking from my experience prior to ENS, we were eating out 5 to 6 days a week. Grubhub, DoorDash, just bring it to the step and drop it off. Pizza. There's got to be pizza at least one night of the week, right? Usually a Friday or Saturday.
Gotta.
Chick-fil-A, there's, it's fast food stuff. And then, you say you want to cook. Okay, well, we'll have some hamburger helper tonight, and we'll have, frozen pizza, whatever. And there's the most processed, all of it, processed foods,
Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
So, you guys, this is why, like, we are so passionate about fulfilling this mission and, just sharing all of your guys' stories, because on a big scale level, what's happening is just so much bigger than all of us. I mean, look at Brittany. Like, we're talking about, a highly dedicated, highly committed person. Like, I will tell you this from experience. When I said to Brittany, like, every single time jump, she always told me how high, 100% of the time, because of what is going on. Like, the availability of food for the most part is just so trashy, because we've gotten used to, this convenient everything. Like, somebody like Brittany, who was, like, you were still going to the gym, you were still trying. We're not even talking about the person who is like, I've given up on myself a long time ago. You were like actively trying the whole time, and you're like pushing 175 when you started. Like, is it any wonder why 70% of this country is overweight and obese? Like, this is actually one of the biggest problems that are happening, not just in the United States, but globally, because the healthcare costs, which, let's face it, are not making us healthier, just putting massive band-aids on really deep wounds. I mean, you're a nurse. You see that every single day. You deal with ailments that are purely because people didn't know how to take care of themselves, because, well, everything that was around them was really, really bad. Now, for any of you guys who are like, yeah, I live in Mississippi, or I live in Louisiana, or I live in, like the Midwest, or in a place that doesn't have like a highly readily availability of healthy food, please be inspired, because if Brittany could do it, so could you. So for the person listening who is, let's say, in a small town, like Alabama, if we're like talking about, like 5-mile radius, there's probably like an Arby's, a Dairy Queen, and a McDonald's. Like, what would you recommend to them from your own experience, having planned in advance in order to set their environment up for success and actually, bring in more nutritious food to their environment?
Sure. So, to them, I would say, like, you can do it. And again, a lot of it is fail to plan to fail, and audit your environment, like you just said. And you just got to do the best you can. And, if you get in a situation that, that say you're going out to eat to dinner with family, and you want to pick that better than choice. And I'll be honest, like if I go out to eat, I'm looking for fish. I try to just stick to fish. Fresh fish in Oklahoma is not a thing. I love coming to visit Florida because the grouper's always fresh. Like, whatever the fresh catch of the day, like, sign me up. But, and if I ask them, I'm lucky if I get a whitefish choice. Almost always they have a salmon, and I'm sure it's not wild caught, but if it's the best I got, it's the best I got. But, just when you're at the grocery store, you know, trying to find the grass-fed meat or the organic pasture raised. I mean, you just got to do the best you can and limit all that other processed stuff. I mean, when I started, we got all that out of the house. Like, we don't want a house because we don't want the temptation. And then, you know, it's less likely that I'm going to be bringing it in the house. So it takes a lot of practice, but there's no way I could have done that without your guidance for sure. So, I mean, that was what helped me the most.
What were some of the things that come to the top of your mind that you ended up getting rid of?
Oh, I mean, for number one, I was a massive Reese's addict, and, you know, sugar, anything. I mean, cookies. I mean, I would have something sweet after dinner every night. And, you know, I would eat ice cream. It's not my favorite, but I would eat it. If it was there, I would eat it. So getting that kind of stuff out of the house, cereal, love cereal, getting that out of the house and not bringing it back in, you know, really learning like how food is fuel and how to make it serve me instead of, you know, me just being mindless about it and eating it because I'm bored or whatever, or because I'm addicted to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you share with us like a quick, you know, rundown of what does a typical day of eating look like for Brittany?
Sure. So, I mean, I'll start with like on a workout day, get up at 3:45 and have a protein shake and then go work out. And then 3:45, I know. And then 7:30 is breakfast.
Oh yeah, I was like, I didn't know anybody who woke up earlier than we did.
Yeah. 7:30 is breakfast, 11 is lunch, 2:30 snack, 5:30 dinner. And like for breakfast, I usually do the parfait out of the Nom Nom book. Lunch is usually lunch. I try to do, you know, a protein and a couple of veg salad, two or three veg salad, and you know, brown rice or quinoa or sweet potato, and then dinner do another veg and protein. So,
what are some examples? I mean, you said fish, just so people have a better idea. Like, okay, what does Brittany eat? Like the parfait.
Okay.
What's the parfait?
So that is the oats and rolled oats with the yogurt, and then blueberries and strawberries. This week I did blueberries and banana. You know, you have to pick whatever fruit is fresh at the store, and so sometimes you got to get creative with that. And for me, I can't do dairy, and that was something else that, not to veer too far off, but I started suspecting that I had a lot of food sensitivities the last several years, but I didn't know how to go about trying to find out what I was sensitive to. And so, except for stop eating it and, you know, stop eating carbs. Well, that's not going to happen. Or stop eating dairy. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so through this journey and getting off of the processed foods, I've been able to really tell like what affects my body and what doesn't. And dairy is one of those things that I know is going to just tear me up. So I steer clear of that. So because of that, my yogurt doesn't have much protein. So I add a scoop of X Endurance protein powder to that. And then I add the collagen and greens to that. So I don't need the honey or anything else, the stevia, it's sweet enough. And that's typically my breakfast in the mornings. Like I said, lunch, usually chicken, or, you know, might do a bison burger with a lettuce bun, or, you know, that's kind of depends. I do not eat fish at home. I only have it when I go out to eat. So, you know, steak, chicken, things like that.
Love that.
And then can I also ask the examples of vegetables? Because a lot of people will be like, I don't like eating vegetables, or I'm really picky, or this or that. So first of all, to start, you did not eat a lot of vegetables, right?
No, I mean, I thought I did because I ate a lot of sweet potatoes and baked potatoes, but.
Well, so how since have you switched your vegetables, and what are some ideas that vegetables that you enjoy other people can have an idea.
So, I do the bass, the big ass salads often. Zucchini and again, like for me, we have to kind of play with what's fresh at the store and what's not, what they haven't price hiked that week. Like last week I was going to get some asparagus and one bundle was like $8. Like, we're going to pass on asparagus today. So, but zucchini and squash, if it's fresh, man, trying to think what else. Man, I don't know. Steamed green beans. We do that one a lot. Asparagus when we can. We just kind of try to rotate. We don't have a lot of choices, so we try to rotate so it doesn't get. I'm not one that can eat the same thing every day, and my max is about 3 days. I can eat it, and then I need to change. So, you just kind of got to get creative with it.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, we just talked a little bit about, like food availability. We talked a little bit about, daily structure. From an information abundance in this world that we live in right now versus reliable information. What has your experience been, or what would you like to share with the audience, knowing what you know now?
As far as like education I've received from you guys. So
education you learned versus what you thought.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm one, like I crave knowledge, right? So I would go on Google because I want to know this stuff, but I would get so overwhelmed. And there's so much bias, like what is real, what is not, I don't know, you look at one article on keto and it's great. You look at another and it's deadly. And I mean, in the healthcare field, I know what it does to the body, but it's so hard to know like what's actually honest or not. And so to have you guys, speaking number one from your experience, I think that's the most helpful. And then number two, from the knowledge you guys have gained, over the last decade or so, and you break it down in such a way that, someone like me that just, needs the most basic common knowledge can understand like what you're talking about and where you can follow it. And I mean, that was, a game changer for me.
Love that. I love that. Let's go back to 1 year ago in the first conversation. I remember the first conversation I had with you. And, as your coach, knowing what I know, I knew where we can get you. But, with all of the context that you've had going into it, you were extremely skeptical, you were extremely uncertain. And if I told the Brittany of 1 year ago, Brittany, do this thing, join us for the inner circle, and I promise you I'm going to change your life, what would you have said?
Well, you basically did say that. And I think I said, can I think about it and call you tomorrow? I thought maybe you could, but I didn't think I could,
This is huge. Okay, so look, Brittany, I talk to a lot of people who end up joining the inner circle. This is probably the most common thing. For one, that's a shit ton of money for me to risk, right? Yeah. That's what we're thinking. We know it's not a risk. Even if you show up like 60%, you're still going to make forward progress. And that 60 will turn into 65 and then 70 and then 75. And before you know it, you're like, really isn't that hard. Mm-hmm. And so when you thought that and you said, let me think about it, did you think about it or did you have the courage to jump in that day?
No, I jumped, Sarit. So what's there to think about? I was like, well, I need to crunch some numbers. I need to process this, and you kind of just let me process for a few minutes myself on the phone, and I think you reiterated, like, I know you can do this, or I believe you can do this. At that point, I thought, man, I've tried everything else. Like, I'm just gonna give these girls what I got, and and I'd kind of made a vow to myself that night, like, if this doesn't work, it's not going to be my fault. Like, I'm going to give her everything I have, and then I can come back and say, your stuff doesn't work, but I can't say that. So you win.
Okay, so if you would have gotten off of the phone, and if we would have given you time to think about it, do you think you still would have done it, or do you think you would have talked yourself out of it?
I think I probably would have talked myself out of it.
I want anybody who ever considers the inner circle to hear this, because we know, Brittany knows, Sarit knows, I know, anybody, if you've done the inner circle and you're watching this live, when this goes onto YouTube, I need you to go to the YouTube and I need you to comment about your experience, because we really have something, Brittany, would you agree, that can change a life?
Absolutely, 100%.
This is why we're so passionate about, like, everybody come in. If you've been like Brittany, if you've been like other people that we've interviewed too, like, man, we know the difference that it can make. And I just want to say thank you for showing up as well as you have. Even the people who don't show up and give it their all 100% from the get-go, still end up making progress. But when somebody does show up and give it their all from the get-go, it makes it a lot easier on you, and it makes it a lot easier on your coach to be able to help you succeed in the process.
Brittany, why do you think so many people are so... Boogie wants to come say hi. One moment.
It's very needy today.
He just loves Auntie. Why do you think, going back to where you were a year ago, it was so easy for you to be skeptical when I told you with, like, full confidence, I can and I will change your life if you let me?
Yeah, I mean, I think because, even if you were just personal trainers, I tried it. Like, nothing worked. I mean, why is this any different? And I was so frustrated with myself. I mean, it really had nothing to do with you guys. I mean, it was just more of believing in myself that, God, you're just going to waste your money and screw up again, And I think that's why the hesitation was there.
Yeah. And so you had that thought in your mind, like, you're not going to follow through.
Yeah.
Right. And you had said, like, if I do this and it doesn't work, it's not going to be my fault. So that's what caused you to go all the way in. And I think that statement is ridiculously powerful. And if you really give something a try, you can have success in it. But if you really give something a try that isn't sustainable, the success will be short-lived, which is what you had done before. So what if you were to give, like, put some details on the actual things that were different about this, so that, whether somebody does the inner circle or not, they can take away the things that they need to focus on that are really, truly different than everything else that they maybe have tried, to give themselves a better chance of success.
Sure. So, I mean, again, you can go out and hire a personal trainer and they'll run you through workouts, right? But 99% of them are not going to work with you on your mindset. So you may achieve your goals, but if you don't change this here, you're just going to go back. If you don't fix what was wrong in the beginning on the inside, the outside's not going to last. And so, number one, learning how to change your mindset to where you love and appreciate yourself, to where every day is a gift and you get to get up and go work out, and, you get to make good food choices. And then, the knowledge of nutrition and being able to do it by myself. You weren't sitting there going, no, don't eat that. Yes, you can only eat this. It was, hey, here's how to do it right. and here's a bunch of options, and here's how to make better than choices. And I can take it anywhere. I can, I went on vacation at the beginning of the year and lost weight on vacation thanks to you guys. I mean, that's something that is unheard of. I mean, it just, if anybody is even just, you've got an inkling like, man, I'd love to try to work with them, just do it. Just try.
You since have graduated from the inner circle. And so you now no longer have the hand holding, and you no longer have somebody just like talking in your ear all the time. But what's your level of confidence now on a scale of 1 to 10? We've established I don't have any more weight to lose. Like, what? But what's your level of confidence that you're going to stay that way and only continue to improve for the rest of your life?
Oh, I mean, 100%. I mean, nothing's changed for me except that I don't check in with Sarit every night. Now, I mean, I'm still filling out my food log. I'm still doing my wins and my gratitudes. Haven't missed a workout since October 15th of 2020. And, I mean, it just, you guys teaching me how to be consistent in everyday life. I mean, it's a habit now. It's routine for me.
There is something that I gotta showcase about you. For those of you guys listening, do you notice how Brittany is so aware of her data? You know your data because like you just took every lesson that we went through like full force. You showed up for every coaching call on time. If you couldn't be there live, you checked back the recording. Like, you're just so on point with tracking data, and like, that's why you have so much confidence, because what you've learned is to analyze trends by building consistency. That's all it is. And that's why your forecast moving forward looks so bright. Because you're making data-driven decisions, not emotional-driven decisions. That's incredible. So, okay, fast forward 1 year, your life has changed. How has your life changed?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I just, a more positive outlook for one. I can look myself in the eyes in the mirror for two. I'm no longer scared to walk into a room with cookies. I mean, I can handle that now and not have to worry or shame myself because I ate 7 of them. It just, I have no question about, what my day is going to look like, because I'm going to work out. I'm going to do this, and if something comes up that's unplanned for, unprepared, like, no worries, we'll handle it. And, it just, there's like a weight off my shoulder, I guess, physical and metaphorical weight off my shoulder for sure.
So great. So great. Brittany, do you have any last words of wisdom?
Oh, I mean, again, just nothing that hasn't been said, I don't think. And, I know there's people that are going to see this and that are struggling, and, just give it a chance, because, I mean, you guys really are the real deal, and what you see is what you get. And I think that's the best part. And, I'm just super grateful that you took me on as a client and gave me a chance. So, and appreciate you letting me tell my story today.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure, and it's really fun to see your scores on the UTC whiteboard each and every single morning. So incredible. Anything else for you?
I'm looking at Brittany's score right now. Brittany, you work out today, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Of course you did.
Of course. What did Brittany do? Brittany, where's Brittany White? 60 pound. What did we do yet? What did we do?
That's deadlift.
Oh, was that dumbbells?
Yeah.
Brittany, 2 rounds and 66 reps.
Boom. Boom.
Awesome.
Amazing. Hey, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to, hop on this call with us. If you're listening to us live and this, added value to you, please, share some love with Brittany and just go ahead and drop a comment or an emoji. And if you're listening to this recording, please go ahead and drop it in the comments and let us know what was the one thing that you took away most from this conversation, or what was the one thing that you could resonate most with from this conversation. And Brittany, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to just share your story. You're so freaking inspiring. And for those of you guys listening, thank you so much for joining us today as well, and for listening to Brittany's story. You guys, we all have a story to share. So make it a point to make the right decision today so that you too can be a form of inspiration for someone. We always say, trust us when we say this. If we can, so can you. And this is what our mission is about, to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. So right now, the ripple effect is moving forward from Brittany to other people. You guys, if you are at a point where you are feeling either stuck, lost, unsure, just go ahead and...
I'm going to put a link actually in the description where you can reach out and we can take a look at where you're at and if this is a good fit for you or not. But either way, no matter what, at the end of the day, our true and genuine hope and desire is that you get the results that you deserve so that you can live the best life possible. So,
and that being said, happy Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. And Brittany White, I know that we will see you on the whiteboard. For the rest of you guys, we will see you on the flip side. Bye.